hello, welcome. I'm so excited you joined me for this webinar. So if you want to eat, obviously you can. This is lunchtime, and this is all about it, exactly in the spirit of this these trainings actually that we are offering and that we are presenting. The whole idea is to give you some quick tools, quick tips for you to increase your visibility, get known. And so lunchtime is the perfect time. So feel free if you want to eat, because I know sometimes we're busy people. So I don't want to be another extra layer of what you need to do in your day. We want to teach you fun things to apply. So thank you. I'm Nata. For those who don't know me, Nata stands for Natalie Bibo, N-A-T-A, and I founded NATA PR 20 years ago. It's crazy. It's our 20th anniversary this year. And so my goal today is really for you to learn something quick that you can really apply. So this is the main goal of this presentation. And we have created this whole new, I call it a service. It's not something independent from the agency. It's really a service that we are offering. And why? A few years back, we have two main clients at the agency. One main clients are the L'Oreal of this world, the AgroPure, like the major corporation, large corporation. So this is probably 50% of our business. So my partner is listening to, hi David from Toronto. So we have two types of clients. The ones that pay us, large corporations, and I've always worked with smaller companies because I find some have like very interesting products, and we know sometimes media love to talk about if you are innovating in your field. They will love to talk about smaller brands. They love to obviously talk about, you know, the glitz and glam, the huge brands, obviously international brands, they love that, but they also like and are interested about, you know, what's new and coming, who are creating like the new trends. So all this to say that we were proposing, just a quick recap. So we do like annual contract with those huge companies. So we work normally on an annual base. And we, let's say we have a plan, and every month we have to implement strategies and tactics for them. But since, you know, we had these smaller companies, what I was proposing these people back then, not so long ago, actually, up until last year, was a 6-month plan. Very specific, just to show them what we're able to do and how they can use the power of PR, public relations. And it was so weird. Like, what happened, we had maybe 4 or 5, and all of them decided not to continue with us. That was the first time it was happening. Normally we would, let's say on 4 of them would continue, because they're like, oh my God, so we got featured in major newspaper, magazines, TV. Now they, you know, they had a feeling of what we can give them. And all of them said, well, no, we're not going to continue. We have someone in-house who's going to be doing, you know, is in charge of our ad campaign, our marketing, our social media, and they're going to do PR as well. And that was so weird. I'm like, what's happening? So they decided to, you know, take all their budgets and invest it in one human being. I can understand why, because you know, need resources and you are smaller companies. But oh my God, it's so much to ask from one solo human being. So instead of selling these people a campaign, I decided, why don't I work with their responsible of marketing, with their marketing people, and at least, you know, give them the tools they need. So this is really a hands-on program where every week I'll be asking you, what do you need? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? And we'll do like specific things. And we'll start right away building new tools. Obviously, I'm going to give you like the big lines of what we do, but we'll be like right in the work and creating results and tools. This is not like any university class. And it's also very similar to what I do when I have a new employee coming and that comes to work for us. Actually, I did this first class. We did a 3-month run already, what I call the beta program, a few months back. And so interesting. So I had 3 new people in my team and 3 other people who were really like interested in learning about PR. So one was a digital marketing expert, One was a podcast producer, and the other one was a coach. So it was crazy interesting how they learn and use and implemented what we were doing every week. So this is what's going to be starting next week. This is the program I'm doing. I'm not going to do many of those. So if you want to join in, it's starting next week. In French, it's going to be Wednesday at noon, starts September 23rd, and Thursday the 24th. So all this to say that before I explain even more, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. Or, oh, I have someone that's joining. Sorry about that. Voila. I know some people, sometimes it's difficult to join. Leila. Welcome, Leila. I don't know if you hear me. If you want to just send me a little... Hello. Welcome. So we're just at the beginning of explaining what is this webinar all about. So welcome. I was just telling you who I am. So I'm Nata from NATA PR, and I was just about to share my screen with you to show you. I have prepared just a little like guidelines, and my goal today is for you to learn one thing that you can implement very quickly and that you keep doing, hopefully. So let me share my screen. 1 second, here it is. Thank you so much for joining. And if you want to eat, people we don't see, it's fine. I know, Danielle, you have this amazing decor behind you. Voila. So this is, you should be seeing a document. Let me know if you don't see it. Voila. So NATA PR School webinar 1. So thank you. It's a brand new service at the agency that I have the pleasure of introducing today. So you probably know that, especially if you are promoting goods or services. So even if you have the best product in the world, if no one knows about it, it won't sell. Seems very simple, but we've talked, my partner and I, to many clients, and sometimes they've invested so much in creating this amazing food product, fashion, beauty, or service, and they come to us and they have absolutely no resources anymore, like no money. They're at the end of it. So I hope you're not in that situation and that you are saving a bit of money and energy, because this so sad sometimes. Some people, I remember like a huge client, not a huge client, but a huge project actually, and it was amazing innovation, and they had no money. So hopefully they're watching us and they will join us and learn a few things that they can implement themselves. So it's all about helping smaller companies and helping also solopreneur. You're a service provider and you have something unique that you want to promote. So we want to help you. Voila. And just to go a little further, so I don't know if you went on our website. I'm going to send it to you if you don't have it. I love to say that at the agency, we kind of, we cracked the code on how to get known and how to help our clients get the visibility they deserve. So if you're feeling that your competitors are visible and you're not, how come, they get these articles in magazines, newspaper, TV, or even online? Like, how come they have all these bloggers talking about them and you don't have that visibility? You're at the right place. We want to help you. Sometimes, your competitors are good at promoting themselves, but maybe you have a better product than them. So we'd like to hear from you. So what we actually put together is something super simple that we call the NATA PR model. It's 6-step, very easy to understand, and you can download it. And if you don't have it, as I said, I'll email it to you as a gift for you to join me today. And these 6 steps are really what we use every day at the agency, really, with smaller, large companies, large corporations. As I was saying, like, we have 2 types of clients at the agency. We work with the Agropur, L'Oreal, and major companies, and smaller ones as well. And now this is a new service, the NATA PR School, where we want to help even the smaller ones who don't have the budget yet to work with a PR agency, but they're asking their marketing person, their communication person in the house, like the one who's responsible of the visibility, to do everything. So we want to help these people as well. So back to the model, 6 steps for a successful PR campaign. Very easy. I'm not going to go over all of this, but this is just a little taste today. It's really, I hope I'm teasing you enough and that you will register to our program. I'll talk about it later, and if you have more questions, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So 6 steps, and this is the model, and we'll go in depth every week. We'll take one step at a time, little chunk, and I'll explain, and I'll give you example of what we do at the agency. So you'll have access to senior top management. I've been doing it for 30 years. 20 years with the agency. We founded NATA PR 20 years ago. So my partner and I, we've seen it all. We've seen the facts arrive, and now we're even looking at what we can do with TikTok, just to give you an idea. So we know how to promote services and products. So 6 steps: identify why journalists would want to talk about you. Number 2, this is actually the most important thing, why people would talk about you. Tell your story. So you probably know that public relation is probably the best thing in the world to tell your story, because we're more than an ad. When we send information to bloggers and influencers, we can really tell your story in a very appealing way. This is our expertise. Then number 3, I call it identify the real influencers. Doesn't mean that there are, false influencers or influencers that aren't real. It means that who are the real influencers for you? Because it's so easy to get lost today. I don't know if you remember, maybe you're too young, some of you who joined us today, but back in the days, it was kind of easy. If we fully look back on how we could promote a brand, large companies would buy a ad campaign on TV, in the newspaper, in magazines, and then they would buy in billboards, and that was pretty much it. So can you imagine how easier and not as complex as it is today? So I call those like the windows of visibility weren't as numerous as they are nowadays, and I'm not going to tell you that because I know I'm not going to go through some stats about Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, now TikTok, all the podcasts that are like booming, and so many other platforms. Plus, this is just like what's happening, like new tools, new ways of communicating, like social media and all that. But you also have our friends at the traditional media, who also have, all of them, their web platform. So they all have a website, except obviously some exceptions, but most of them, probably 98% of them, have a web presence, a website. They have a version of their print magazine on the iPad. They also have another digital format that they send. They have newsletters, huge sometimes, that we love, and plus their own social media. So it's kind of very overwhelming when you are at the beginning of it and you are thinking, wow, where should I start? What should I do? This is like a huge monster. Should I be doing just traditional media? Should I be just on the web? There's not just one answer, but what we do at the agency, what we see a lot is the best way when you don't have a huge budget is really to combine what you do with PR and social media. We have tons of experience and results that we can show you. And this is what we're going to be doing in the class. So identify the real influencers. Then obviously we have to give them some tools. They are looking for some information. It's insane. I have so many comments from top influencers, Instagrammers. Sometimes it's beautiful. They do an unboxing, but it lasts 24 hours and then disappear, but they don't have any information. I don't know what are these agencies thinking. They send products, it's beautiful, but they don't send information. Like they think the press release is that. Nope, it's not. People want it, I'm telling you, and use it. So number 5, we will show you some ways of measuring your results. And number 6, I call it follow-up. This is you know, between the first one, identify why journalists and bloggers would be interested by you, why they would talk about you, and the last one, probably the most two crucial tactics. So you see, this is what we do really in our daily work. So voila for that. And so the tip of the day, my tip is very simple. You have to keep in mind, like, as I told you, it's sometimes very overwhelming to look at all the possibilities and where to start. But know that journalists and bloggers are humans just like you and I. And they're very sensitive when you do your research and when you show them, then, you know, they love when you are interested in their work, when you pay attention to what they do. And we're so lucky. This is David and I, this is what we tell our employees every day. Like, you don't realize how your job is so much easier in a sense. Part of it is easier, obviously, because of all the possibilities makes it complex. But what absolutely amazing is you can find anything online. So just quickly, I wanted to share one information, one part of a report that's quite extensive. It's free. You can go on the Cision website and find it in the, I guess they have all the information, blogs. The Cision is a huge group now. It's a company that's buying probably all the media database in the world. They have many tools that professional agencies like ours use. So we subscribe to many of their services, but this is free actually. You could probably download it for free. I know I did, not through our account. So anyway, all this to say that these reports are very interesting, and I just wanted to share with you one thing, my tip of the day. As I said, my tip is bloggers, influencers, and journalists are humans. They love when you read and you tell them that you know what they do. And look at this, this is so interesting. It's the third year in a row in this report. So after 3 years, this is what journalists are asking. Number one thing, they want that before you reach out to them, that you find out what they do, understand who they are and what they cover before sending in them any information. And so they love that. So imagine this. So there's many people out there not doing their job properly, I'm telling you. So if you're smart enough and you send information in a very, friendly way, paying respect and telling them then, oh my God, I saw what you did. I love what you wrote. And I just wanted to share with you, this is what we do. And we have a similar product, or, whatever you have to propose, or this is what I do. And you would be surprised. They would respond to something like that. Sometimes they do receive a lot of emails. So this is why, my last tactic, sending information and following up. And there are ways to follow up in a smart way that it's not annoying for people. And this is what we are teaching. So I'm not teaching all my secrets today, but I can answer your questions afterwards. So know that. And they want the agencies before sending information. The other thing, have all the info before contacting them. Know the price of what you're sending them. And they love if you have, as you can read, a spokesperson, an ambassador, someone that really knows the brand inside out. They love to talk to the entrepreneur behind the company. So before contacting them, if you have, your information and you have someone that can speak on your behalf or talk about your brand product, they are very sensitive to that. So these are really like easy thing to really increase your visibility quickly. It's the same thing with influencers. They want to know that you read what they do, that you went on their blog. It's also a good way to find out if they post regularly. Some influencers don't. They are now Instagrammers, which can be interesting if they have a large audience, but you need to find out who are following them too. And before paying any of these people, know that many of them have a real influence and are ready to talk about a product that they love. So voila, so tip of the day, choose a traditional media, one journalist, one blogger. Could be anything. You can start small. This is what I wanted to also give you as a tip today. don't go wild and try to create yourself a crazy list. If you start with one contact a week, it's enough. You could have like 50 top tier contact in your database and you would generate crazy results. We do that sometimes with smaller clients because then, you know, the scope of work is way more smaller for us. And sometimes we're amazed by the results we're getting for them. So keep that in mind. Choose. So this is your homework of the week. After this this lunch, after this presentation, you have to find one media. It could also be, I don't know what you're doing, but it could also be in some people that I see that have joined Canadian Grocer might be your first hit, because maybe this is where you need to be visible in Canada, or, you know, there are what we call trade publications in the States, in Canada, everywhere. And sometimes they have less people who read those, but they are your target market. Instead of having 50 millions reading them, if they have, let's say, I don't know, 10, 15, 25,000 people, but they're the people in your business, this might be where you should be starting. This might be your number one publication media, and then a blogger. So do your research on Google. I'm going to show you very quickly something I did just for fun. And then the next step is really you have to contact them. And it's amazing how you can find people easy. It's almost, sometimes, you know, some people are good at hiding who they are, but I'm telling you, most of them, and what I'm showing you is a little different today, but yesterday I was showcasing a newspaper here in this market called Le Devoir. And the online Devoir is just like so perfect. I was giving an example of the wine expert. And so if you go on the Devoir and you look wine review, the expert will pop up. You have like a biography of the person. You could even click right under the bio to send him an email. You could research what he has written in the past few months. It's just crazy. I'm telling you, it wasn't easy like that back in the days, right? So email, once you have found who you want to reach, make sure you contact them. Sometimes, you know, bloggers, influencers, you can contact them through Facebook, Instagram, we do, Twitter sometimes, but it's becoming less and less the number one social media, but it might be an interesting place to contact some media. So to go just a little bit further in what I was teaching you today, I just wanted to share, like, when I just did this research very quickly today. And I went on the HuffPost online newspaper, huge. So this is a very interesting publication. And if you look on top, you're like, okay, I'm probably in the live section. So you click on the live section and you have all types of articles. If you have anything linked to coronavirus, I'm telling you, great chances are they will feature you. It could be anything from I've increased my business by 50% now online, now that coronavirus is around. Even if your business is suffering on the other side and you don't have all the supermarkets selling for you, for example. But, you know, this they want to know. Media journalists, even bloggers, they want to know what's happening. So I'm just picking this as a very quick example. And I was really amazed by this one. What's the best way to store face mask? Isn't that great? So I'm gonna send this idea to some of my clients this afternoon. I think it's very interesting. And whoops, sorry about that. So once you see this, obviously you can click to and see who's writing about it, who wrote something about that. Is this a, sometimes, you know, you probably know that the Huffington Post is also publishing, if you have an article, you can, we call it guest posting. I have a whole section in my class where we explain what is guest posting and how to do it. But this is not the subject today. Today is just like simple, you know, we do a little research. We want to be featured in the Huffington Post. We have something that's linked to, you know, lifestyle, coronavirus. Maybe you have a disinfectant, like something, gel alcohol disinfectant, so something to how would you say that in disinfective or like clean your hands, and this is something you want to present to these people. So anyway, all this to say that you click live and then you click to this one. Ah, oui, hand sanitizer. Thank you. My brain sometimes doesn't want to give me the right word. So hand sanitizer, a sanitizer that is really like you created and designed for coronavirus. I'm telling you, it's not over, as you probably know. So anything linked to corona might interest the press. So voila. Then I clicked on how to fold my mask, and oh, it's Kelsey Borzen. So Kelsey Borzen is the senior reporter of Post Life. That's someone I want to be friends with, right? And this is what I say all the time. Become friend with these people. So she might not be responding to you on the first email you send, unless, you know, you might be lucky and you're sending something that's right on target or right on point of if she's looking for something specific and you send them an info. It happens sometimes, but you might have to be, you know, send her a few emails before she responds. Be patient, because once you have this contact, you just need to be in touch with her once, and once she knows you, then you know your job will be so much easier to send her more information. She's not going to talk about you every week, obviously, but you know, she would talk about you 2 times a year and you would be ecstatic. So Kelsey Borzen is a senior reporter at Huffington Post Life, covering love, sex, relationship. There you go. She's a graduate of the University of Southern California. So, you know, they're human. So anything you find in their bio that's, you know, that's resonates with you, put that in your email to them. And you can contact her through Instagram, which is interesting. On some other platforms, Huffington Post, in other countries, you can like really get in touch with them. You have their email right there. But in this case, it's Twitter. It's a bit strange, but probably, you know, they receive tons of emails. So they want to make your research a little bit harder. So voila, so this is my tip of the day, and you do the same thing with bloggers and influencers. I'm sure we are more familiar and we know some of them. Find out 1 or 2, don't go more than 2 influencers, you know, get used to contact these people, send them information. And just quickly, for those who know publicity, this is something that we got in a French magazine here, but this is just to express and show an example of how the local trend is going to be huge in any country right now. So anything that you do that's local, spread the news. So they are interested by that. This is a jean company that we work for. It's called Yoga Jeans, and they were the first one to raise their hands to say, hey, we'll provide medical equipment, even way before anyone started raising their hands and say, well, we'll be happy to help the government to produce anything they need without having the equipment behind. So they've done an amazing job. And so they have an amazing story. We got so much coverage for them, and their online sales are just exploding. Their name's out there. And so if you have a good story, make sure you communicate it. So before I go to the questions, don't be afraid. The worst thing that might happen is well, thank you, I'm not interested. I'm not interested by what it's a no, I'm not interested. So if you have a negative response, it's not the end of the world. And maybe, you know, it's not the right person for you. Maybe it's not the right influencers. You might have to move on to another one. So voila, questions. I'll just stop this and look at if you have any questions. This is just like a little example of what we're going to be doing every week. But even more than that, like I'll work with you on, you know, how we pitch, and we'll do pitch. You could, you know, this is what we did in the previous training. You can send me your pitch. I will help you draft it in a way that will attract attention. We do that every day. And this is what I want to do. So Greystone is there. I phone Laila. I don't know who Laila is. So I don't know. Do you have any questions? I know sometimes, you know, it's a lot of information, but just to show you that every week you'll receive a video that's going to be 15-20 minutes. So I don't want to be adding to your life. I just want to help you guys. So we have created tools that are simple, that are not going to take too much of your time, and they're little bites, so you can really like do you know, understand what we're doing bits by bits and build from there. And I'm telling you, after the 3 months, you'll have, if you need me to help you build your campaign, I'll do it. If you need to, you have a rush before Christmas, like many of us, many of my clients, I'll be happy to tell you what we do at the agency and help you the best we can. So voila. And don't forget, first class, the 24th. So you have up until, you know, the day of to register, but I hope you'll be joining us. And if you have any questions, send me an email, nata@natapr.com. Super easy to find me, nata@natapr.com. If you want to talk about what you have and what are your issues and where you need help, I'll be happy to help you. So this is a special service that we've designed especially for you. And so if you have product, service, and you're a smaller company, and especially now, you know, sometimes everything's been cut too, so we understand that. We have some clients, but know that the companies that stayed with us, they've increased their visibility by 50%, easy. It's insane. I'm even afraid. My partner and I, we have that conversation. We're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do next year? Like when everything like becomes more like normal and regular, we're not gonna be able to generate so much coverage. Know that the large companies, large corporations, they've made major cuts. Makes complete sense, right? It's COVID, so they try to save where they can, and many of them cut in their publicity plan, marketing plan, public relation plan. So media are open to what you have to propose. So there is a lot of space. I call those like windows of visibility. I'm telling you, you would be surprised what we can generate. So thank you for watching, and Danielle, I'll send you an email and we'll schedule a call. Thank you so much for joining, and let me know what you think, and I'll be more than happy to also help you if I can. So thank you for joining.